I have a friend that I did a contract for her, and I've known her for a little while, and she's this, a kind of a spiritual mentor for me. And I was doing her contract, and I was like, well, this doesn't sound like anything like the person I know. And she was like, I have never had a system tell me my life the way that this has. And I mean, the things that she was telling me, it's very personal. So it's not like
Yeah.
this isn't just like fun party game. It's like, I mean, this goes deep into,
Oh God, we're about to
traumas.
do mine.
Well, we're going to go superficial on yours, so.
Welcome to The Reluctant Medium, where we cover the gamut of out there conversations. With an open mind and a curious heart, we want to talk about it all. From psychic phenomena and energy medicine to beings from other star systems and out-of-body experiences. You'll find a great balance between grounded science-backed topics and others that science hasn't quite caught up to yet. I'm your host, Dr. Maria Rothenberger, a psychotherapist by trade and a reluctant spirit baby communicator. And hey, even though I'm a medium, I'm not buying everything folks are selling. I just have a voracious appetite to know more about what I call the world of the weird. Join us on your favorite podcast platform or watch on YouTube at The Reluctant Medium. I'll see you there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Reluctant Medium podcast. I'm Dr. Maria Rothenberger, your host for the podcast. And dude, I have a great interview today. We have Jared Carter here. He emailed me and said, hey, if you need to interview about this. And I'm like, of course he freaking knew. Of course he knew that I need to talk to somebody about soul contracts today. This is going to be so stinking cool. Welcome, Jared.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
You are way calmer than I am. I'm so excited. I will tell you, I'm a medium, but I specialize in spirit baby work, and clients all the time will ask me about their baby's name.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so curious about this and how certainly we'll do the umbrella, like how, what
Sure.
soul contracts are and how names are related. But then I would love to dig into that, naming children. But first, Jared, I have a very, very important question.
Okay.
I was on your Instagram and I need to know who Dexter and Diesel are.
Those are my little puppies. They're probably going to interrupt us at some point because they can't stay away from me. But they're out in the other room right now, so.
Oh, it's so great. They give advice and stuff on your Instagram.
Yeah. I try
What's it
to.
called?
They
The
try
Zen?
Zen Den is what I was doing. I haven't done one in a while. I need to get some other ones going up, but
So cute.
they're adorable.
I have my he was almost 17, almost 18. He would have been 18 in August. He passed away in June, just this last June. His name was Dexter.
Aww.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, a little connection there.
Yeah, Dexter came to us after we lost our first puppy. It was during COVID. We couldn't be with him. And then, it was about 3 or 4 months later, and they communicate with each other. He was sent to us. So he's a good little guy.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I just had a dream the other night of my little, I called him Monkey, of my little monkey.
Oh,
and he was like,
yeah, that's what we call him, little monkey. Yeah, all the time. Because he had these little tiny ears that was like this, and they used to flip over, and he looked like a little gorilla. And so we called him baby. He had an extra row of teeth, so we called him baby shark, called him monkey. We called him boob, like anything. But he's monkey is his.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is a trip. That was
Yeah.
Dexter that you, no, that's not
Dexter.
Dexter.
Yeah.
That
Dexter.
you called Monkey?
We call him monkey all the time. Yep.
Yeah. I was meant to talk to you today.
Yeah.
I had a dream of my little monkey. He's like, I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back.
I was like, do I put him in here? But I know he'd be like antsy and he'd want to get out. So but.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah,
if he wants to, I'd love to meet him.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll just talk about the actual stuff that we're talking about today.
We can talk about dogs too. I'm fine with that.
I know. My gosh. I love them. Oh, I wonder if animals have soul contracts and are their names related. Oh my gosh. That's interesting.
I haven't dealt with that. I haven't really, I'll ask I have a training coming up for the very third part of the training in a week. So I'll ask that because I'm kind of curious. I mean, I know that a lot of times dogs are, like children that you weren't able to have. They kind of souls that wanted to be with you. But
Yeah.
I don't believe they have contracts that go, but maybe.
Yeah. Gosh, they're so pure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into what contracts
Yeah.
are for and all that. But first, can you, I mean, we've been chatting, but can you say who you
Yes.
are? Who are
Yes.
you and what do you do? I met you, I got to meet your partner at an expo was it
Yes.
last month? And Minshara Minerals. And
Yeah.
we'll link everything up for folks so you don't have to memorize that, everyone. But yeah, please say who you are.
Yeah. So my name's Jared Carter, and I am owner of Ventura Wellness and Minerals. We're kind of, like I said, the third part of the training is all about business stuff. So my business name may be changing depending on the vibrations
Nice.
that come in with it. But I started out as a crystal kind of seller. I have a connection to crystals in the ether and in the other dimensions and stuff that I work with. But here on this plane, I've just really been into the crystals. So I got into crystals. That led me into some aura photography because you could see how the machine I have can show how your vibrations change with crystals, which
Oh my
changes the
God.
aura vibrationally. So I started with that. And then one night I was scrolling on TikTok and saw someone talking about soul contracts and how to create yours. And I was like, that sounds interesting. And like a week later, I was signed up for all the trainings and I'll be level 3 by, I don't know, next week. So it's just kind of came to me super quick, but it is incredibly meaningful and impactful. And what I appreciate about it is there's some logic to it. It's not logic, but like repetition. It's not like a tarot where you're like an interpretation. This is just vibration. It's basically a
Oh my
vibration. So you
gosh.
just, yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's really cool. And just to foreshadow a bit, you actually
Yeah,
you created my chart, and we'll pop that up on the screen for folks who are watching, and we'll explain as much as possible for folks who are listening. But
yeah,
this is really cool stuff. Can you say what are soul contracts?
yeah. So soul contracts are basically the contract that your soul has set up with the council or the other realm, the realm, the fifth dimension or the other dimensions that you come into this life, this incarnation to work on. So every contract has some parts to it. You've got physical and spiritual sides to it. You have physical karma, physical talents, physical goals. You have spiritual karma, spiritual talents, spiritual goals, and then the ultimate soul destiny of what you are here to work on. As you know, we incarnate and we work on trying to elevate ourselves and to get back to source is kind of the ultimate goal in this whole thing. And so the soul contract is really that binding contract that your soul said, I want to work on this in this lifetime. Of course, we come in and we forget it all. And so the question is, how do we get done with our contract so that, or work on the things that we need to work on so that we can progress to the next step, whether it be another lesson, set of incarnations to work on another thing, or whether we move on to other dimensions or other planets or other systems of whatever. But that soul contract is that contract that your soul signed up for.
This is big. It's really
Yeah.
huge because I go immediately to that place where people talk about especially really difficult things happening to them.
Mhm.
Can the soul contract explain
Yes.
that?
Yep. So a lot of
Okay.
times people will, what's nice about the soul contract and what it is it will tell you patterns and vibrations and energies that are in your life, whether it be disempowerment, whether it be abuse, whether it be those types of things. They're all things that we chose to work on. So it doesn't necessarily like absolve other people of their part in it, but what it does
Right.
help you understand is that you have vibrationally and contractually signed up to experience these things and gives some meaning behind it. So it's not just like, oh my, I'm just always being abused or I'm always feeling disempowered by somebody. It's like, well, that's on purpose. That's what depending on the vibrations, that's what we're here to work on. And so then by knowing that that's part of the contract, then there's some recommendations that come along with it, usually like on how to kind of overcome. A lot of people have
Oh, yeah.
issues with, scatteredness, like the ADHD kind of stuff. And so that's all part of that. There's the vibrations are pretty all encompassing to be able to like cover so many different things. My soul contract specifically, my karma is mostly about lacking trust in the universe, trust in the flow, and a disconnection from source, like total disconnection. So some people come in with more, but I just lack that all. So it's really difficult for me, and it's been a journey just to get to the spot where I'm at, where I'm able to even say the word spirituality and like deal with it. Because I also was part of a cult when I was growing up for like 30 years, so I had to break free. That was all in my soul contract. When I did mine, I was like, this is like exactly what I have gone through. It was pretty crazy.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing. So it's
Yeah.
also like a look back at the
hmm
soul contract is like, here's what's happening for you in this lifetime, and it explains historical
Yeah.
stuff.
So, getting your soul contract later in life, it's more about let's look at where your soul contract is and how you're doing along the line. So when the training, they were
Okay.
describing it as like, you've got a life path and we start out at a certain point, and sometimes our soul contract is like, we got to go this way, but we start with the ego and we start going this way. And so learning your soul contract is about getting you closer to that path that you need to follow and moving along it. And so for me, my spiritual karma is the disconnection from source, the lack of trust in the universe, which I have in both physical and spiritual, which I can tell. I mean, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm like, let's do this, let's do it. I'm not going to wait for anything. But the physical or the spiritual talent that I have is movement and ability to see things from different perspectives, which I've always been able to. Part of what frustrates me is that I can start to get irritated about something, but then I see the other person's perspective and then I get upset because I'm like, but I want to be upset. I want it to be, but I can see both sides. And part of the karma that comes in, we'll talk about this in a little, I'll actually explain what the system is, but part of the karma of what's in my talents, there's positive and negative aspects to each number. One of that is about breaking free from religious dogma, because the number 20 is about movement, and the karmic side of that number is lack of movement or rigidity in beliefs. And so I was in this cult, a religion that was very restrictive for 30 years of my life. And I finally broke free of it. And that was all laid out in my contract, which, like I said, it blew me away when I saw that. I was like, I mean, out of, all the numbers, I had those numbers that just laid this out like a book.
Wow. How can you say, how does the number say, or how does the number illustrate cult for 30 years?
Okay, so we'll go back to like what the soul contracts are. It's an ancient system that was lost for a long time. And in the 80s, Frank Alpert channeled it from the consciousness of Moses. So it's based in numerology and Jewish mysticism, the Kabbalah, those types of things. It's a kind of a blend of that. And so in 1990, in the 90s, a guy named Nicholas David Nagan, who wrote the book, Our
Love
Soul
him.
Contract Decoded, he took his training from Frank Alpert and kind of took it to the next level, created a center for conscious ascension, and then created this system of training people and some other stuff. But that's where I found it. I found the book. Someone was mentioning it. And so the concept is that you are basically taking the name that you were given at birth that's written on your birth certificate, and you are translating it into Hebrew letters. So you take each letter and
Uh-huh.
translating it to Hebrew. Hebrew is a pure language. It's a vibrational language. So like the letter J is the number 10, which is a vibration, the 10 vibration. I is also a 10 because in Hebrew there's 22 letters. So you can't just go letter for letter. So there's kind of a conversion chart. And then you take all those numbers that you take your name, which you'll see on the chart for you, your name up top, and then the way the numbers break down. And then you start with the Star of David. The Star of David is two triangles. You have an upward triangle and a downward triangle. The downward triangle is all your physical stuff, which is usually what most people work on, like when they're younger or are more aware of it at a younger age. You can say like 1 to 35 kind of time frame. And then people have that midlife crisis around 35, 40, where they start to be like, what am I doing? This doesn't work. They start acting out. They don't know exactly where they're going. that's when they kind of switch to that upper spiritual triangle that points up.
Okay.
And so you take the numbers, start at the physical karma spot, and you just start spiraling around the contract and putting the numbers down. Then you take the numbers that are for each one, you add them up, it creates a number, and then that's basically the system of how it, and that's what drew me to it was, oh, this is just math and a little bit of spiraling. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't have to interpret imagery. And it's absolutely insane, the stuff that is in people's contracts. I have a friend that I did a contract for her, and I've known her for a little while, and she's this, a kind of a spiritual mentor for me. And I was doing her contract and I was like, well, this doesn't sound like anything like the person I know. And she was like, I have never had a system tell me my life the way that this has. And I mean, the things that she was telling me, it's very personal. So it's not like
Yeah.
this isn't just like fun party game. It's like, I mean, this goes deep into, you know,
Oh God, we're about to do
traumas.
mine.
Well, we're going to go superficial on yours. So
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
detailed. I'm curious how it's different from like a chart reading, like astrology, or yeah, an astrology
Well,
chart.
there are some so what Nicholas did when he took it and worked with some other people and kind of expanded the system and the explanation of the numbers, he started adding in some associations, like some numbers carry the energy of Aries and carry the Gemini energies, but it's really completely just about vibrational. It's its own system on its own. It used to be called the numerology of Moses, but
Mhm.
they changed the name to soul contracts after that because it started getting confused with numerology, and it's not related
Ah,
in any way. I mean, it's numbers, so people think, oh, I'm a seven, and it's like
right.
no correlation between
That's a
that.
different thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally different thing.
And you said that it's one's birth name. Does it matter? Like I've changed my name
Yes.
once I got married. I'm going to change my
Yeah.
name
So
again. Okay.
yep. And we'll speak a little. So the first level, the basic one, and that's what the book covers, is your birth reading. So you can get the book, you can do your own chart. You're not going to get the readings. What the readings do is connect with your higher self to find out what your higher self wants you to know about it. If you get the book, you're going to read the book. You're going to get all the information about your number. It's going to be a lot. It may not all fit. But when I'm doing it, I'm not writing down word for word what's in the book. I'm seeing what comes to me. And then as I'm talking to you, things start coming out. And I've recently learned what it feels like to channel a little bit. Where it hits me in my stomach.
Nice.
I can feel like a energy just like vibrating in my stomach. And that happens to
Oh,
me
that's
during
cool.
the readings. But so that's the first level. That's level one. Level two deals with overlays. So overlays are your other names that you've used throughout your life. So your birth name sticks with you. If you can think of it like a cake. So your birth name on your birth chart. So that's going to be your first, last, middle, all the names that are on your birth chart are on your birth certificate. That's the base layer of your cake. So let's just say you have a chocolate cake. That's your cake. Now you have a common name at birth. So most people don't go by their full name. My name is Jared Travis Carter. I don't go by Travis. I never use it. So it's just Jared Carter. Jared Carter adds another layer of energy to my system, which is like
Mhm.
icing to my cake. And some icing works with the flavor of your cake and some doesn't. So you could have like a chocolate cake and you add a lemon layer of icing because your name doesn't vibrationally match. It can cause issues. It can cause new things to pop up. That's the case kind of with my name. I have a vibration in there that doesn't work well, but I'm not really, and it's this 21-3, which is about doing things the hard way. So of course I'm not changing my name because I'm going to want to do it the hard way. That's what I'm used to. But if I wanted to, I could adjust my name. So the second layer talks about name optimization. We weren't able to do it in the class, but normally in the second level, they try to name a baby as an option
Ah,
because parents, they need to know what, he talked about it in the class. He said, doing a birth chart on your child, whether they've already had their name, you've chosen it, or you're trying to choose a name, there's choosing the name, you can do it. But even after, knowing what a child's birth soul contract is can help you to consciously parent them as opposed to unconsciously parent them. because you
Yes.
know what they're here for, you know what their struggles are going to be. You can help negate some of the problems, and if you can keep them, awake and open till they're like 7, then they're going to have a much easier time in life when it comes to the spiritual aspect and just things working out. So it's
That
a
is
pretty
so
powerful
great.
for that. I thought of it for like trans folks who are trying to
Yeah.
to change their name, and it's like that's a perfect
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
to vibrationally adjust what's coming into your life. And so then you have your family. So the other thing about overlays is you might have that aunt that you just can't stand and you don't know why, but she just rubs you the wrong way. And vibrationally, there's usually a reason. Their energies might not mix well with yours. So in an overlay week, so let's go back to the karma, the talents, and the goals. So karma, numbers that are in your karma position are usually about 100% negative of aspects of those numbers. So if the number is about power, you're going to experience disempowerment, and that's what you're here to overcome. If you're here about creativity, if that's the number that's in your karma, then you're going to be dealing with blocked creativity, maybe some rigidity, some anger because you can't express. Numbers that come into your talents are what you use to kind of overcome your karma. Those numbers can match and they can be great. Like sometimes people come in with like my partner, he has a 9 in his karma. He has a 9 in his talent. So that's like an even match right there. It's a great number to be able to overcome that karma. But if you have a different number that doesn't quite match, that just means that your karma is a little bit harder to come through. It can sometimes indicate that you maybe did it in a past life, didn't quite get there, so we're going to try a different way. It's like, okay, well, this didn't work, so let's put this number in and see how this works. Or you've done it multiple times and you are now like, okay, now you're going to deal with it. It's going to be even harder for you this time because you chose to stick your head in the sand in the last life or whatever. And so the talents usually come in with about 80% positive, but you could come in 50% positive on that aspect and you still have karma to work through on that number as well. Yeah. And then goals is kind of the ultimate. So once you've used your talents, fought your karma, then you kind of swing it over and start working on your goal. And the goal usually is about 40-50% positive. There's still some karma in that. So that's kind of the breakdown of how that works. Now, overlays, let's just say that aunt that was bothering you, she might have a number, everything that comes from her chart, her birth chart, is positive coming to you. How you take it is dependent on you. So she might have, let's say that you have a 5 in your physical karma. Your aunt might have a 5 in the physical karma as well. And if that aunt has a 5, you could take it, the positive aspects from her to help you. But sometimes, as we all probably have experienced, you meet someone, they provide basically a mirror of what you could be. It's like the potential of what you could have, that 5 energy that you would have, and you don't take it right. You get irritated because you're still working on it. So they're like triggering your karma to be worse. That's called a clash. And there's other systems. There's a lock where you have, it gets pretty detailed on that. Won't go into it, but basically there's different things, and you could energetically see the issues you have, why one partner was super supportive and really great, why maybe one came into your life and it was like, this did not work out. And you can vibrationally look at it and see, and then consciously understand, okay, well, obviously I have a clash with this person. So now I can hopefully make some steps to make it better.
Wow. This is some rich information from a few numbers.
It is. It's very, it's a lot. It's fun.
It's really cool.
It's a lot of fun to look at.
So next year, I'm planning on changing my name because I got divorced. So I'm planning on changing my name again, but not to my maiden name. I should be booking an appointment with you then to kind of run around
to see
this next layer.
Yep. So that's called name optimization, is kind of what the system is called. I haven't put it on my website yet because I just am like, just focusing more on overlays. But the name optimization is where you basically say, okay, well, I'm thinking of this name. Let's say you wanted to go with Maria Rose. And so we're like, okay, what's Maria Rose vibrationally? How is that going to affect your birth name? Because your birth name always stays. It's always that cake.
Right.
So let's see what new layer we add.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, yours is pretty good. And
Okay, cool.
so, I mean, you'll like it when we talk about it. So when but maybe Maria Rose isn't the right one. Maybe it's Rose with a Z. It could be as simple as changing a letter in a name. And so with a name optimization, if you're really going through it, you could do almost 100 different names, checking the vibrations. Oh no, this is going to put
Wow.
this in here, which is going to cause this, which could cause that. And so
Wow.
it can be a lot. So, but yeah, name optimization, baby naming, all those types of things. The third level,
Wow.
which is talked about, is for the 3D. So it's about businesses, and it's about, like I said, we're looking at expanding into maybe a retail location for crystals and some antiques. So what do we call that? That aligns with us vibrationally? What do we, according to their system, they say that we can get almost 50, 60%, or I think 30 or 40% open rate on emails based off of what the subject is, because the subject is vibration, because it's words, it's spoken. So
Yeah.
it's about looking at that, your email handles, your social media handles, and basically optimizing your business to vibrationally match what you're looking to do.
Oh,
So
we need to
that's what I'm doing
talk.
next week. I'm learning that
That's
next week.
so
So
cool. Okay, well, I'll be outreaching you after next
yeah,
week.
sounds good.
This is so cool. Well, can we dive in? I'll put up
Yeah,
my
let's take
chart
a look.
on. Cool. I'm going
Definitely.
to pop this up here for folks who are watching. You can see this, but we'll try to explain it verbally as much as we can. So here we have
Yeah.
this Star of David with a few numbers in here.
Yep, some numbers. So
Yeah.
this is the system that is. So you have your physical karma. You can see the numbers up top. It says, like above physical karma, it says 13 plus 5 plus 14. Those are corresponding to letters in your name. When you
Oh,
add them up,
let's
it
show
comes,
that, right?
yes.
So
So there's your
here's
name. Yep. So the
okay,
M, you can see the M has a vibration of 13. The A has a
right.
vibration of 1, and so on. You can see the TH is added together. That's its own sound. T and H both exist without that, but
Ah,
because they're together, they create a specific sound. And so that's that 22 vibration. So then you go down to below and you start adding them up. So you start with 13 at physical karma, then 1 goes to spiritual karma, then 20 goes to physical talents, and you go in a spiral until you're out of numbers. Then you take those numbers,
ah,
you take the numbers and you add them up. So 13 plus 5 plus 14 is 32. Now, because there's only 22 letters in the alphabet, you can't have a 32. So you reduce. You add those two numbers up. So that
to
makes 5.
5.
And then 5,
Okay.
5, because you can't reduce 5 anymore. And you don't have any others that go above 9. But if, let's say, that 5 had been 1 and 4, so 14, you would have a 14-5 because you would have
I
14
see.
from the adding. And that's how it's created. And then you end up taking the first number of each of these together, add them up to create the 9. I think if you go below on the PDF, it kind of shows you if you scroll down, it'll show you like the little chart of how you come up with the soul. But it's like
Oh,
5 plus 3
oh,
plus
here.
3. Yeah. So see, 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 9 plus 5 is 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. So that's how you get your
9.
9 for your soul destiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, if people are
that's the
seeing
basic.
my age,
Oh, oops.
it's all good. I'm an
That was a
open book,
mistype.
man.
It's supposed to be 85. She's only 40, so don't worry about it. That's my problem.
Well, no, maybe I'm 60 and don't I look amazing? See? That's
Hey, there we
we
go.
could say
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah. So okay, so looking at this, we'll just go through what I do this at fairs, and when I'm in person, I do
Yeah.
mini readings. It's like $25 to just kind of get a peek at your chart. I go over the basics of your chart just real quick, like this energy. I don't dive into it. Diving into it
Okay.
requires more time. It's an hour long.
Mhm.
It's on Zoom only.
Mhm.
So physical karma. So we look at yours. You have a 5-5. I also, one other thing that I add is, since I sell crystals and do that kind of stuff, I add crystals to help, because crystals vibrationally support us.
Oh my
This is all
gosh,
about vibration. So I add
you're my kind of
a
person.
crystal thing.
Love it.
Okay. So 5. So a question for you. When I see someone who has a 5,
Yeah.
I would ask them, did you feel like you had a hard time finding a place in society when you were younger? Did you feel like you just didn't belong?
You bet. You
Yep.
bet.
So that's that five energy. Five energy is a soft vibrational energy. It's a very spiritual energy in a physical position, which makes it very difficult. You might have felt floaty when you were younger, not connected, like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. Five in the
Mhm.
karmic position is also very reluctant of their intuition, which, what is your name again?
Hello, the reluctant medium.
Yeah, like people are gonna think that I'm making this up. No, this is that energy right there. Yeah. So then usually what we'll do is we'll switch over to the talents. So the talents that you have are what you use to kind of overcome the karma. So yours is the three. The three is a teaching kind of one. It's
Oh
about
God, that's
speaking,
so me.
needing to share. So your talent is that you're intuitive, you have this teacher vibe, and that you are great at speaking and sharing your inner truth. So you're taking that information that's deep down and sharing it out.
Aha.
Um,
Yes.
so I should go back to physical karma. Sodalite is a good stone for you because it's about that intuition, using that
Yes.
intuition.
Love soda
For
light. That's why I'm so drawn to it.
for yeah, it's a great one, and it's so pretty.
It
For the
is.
physical talents, you have a 3-3, and that's Chrysocolla is a great stone for that. It's about communication, about speaking
Oh,
for that throat
okay.
chakra. Then you look at your physical goals. So the goals, and this is directly from it, you are here to be a counselor. That's your physical goal.
Get the hell
That's what I
out of
was
here,
like. I
Jared.
know. No, seriously, it said it said here to be, and then it was like example counselor, and I was like, I can't believe it. And like, it's so wild.
That's crazy.
But basically, this two energy shows that you're resilient, objective, and wise in your your stuff. So that's why that. So fluorite is a good stone for
Wow.
counselors. Fluorite helps you to use
Mm.
discernment and helps you to see through the
Mm.
BS of things. So it's
Ooh,
a good
love.
stone to work with.
Love it.
So then we go to spiritual karma. So you'll notice you have a 3-3 again. So
Hmm.
this is again about that communication. So while you're good at the communication in the physical, there's also some karma that comes around it in the spiritual side of things. And so really this three, when it's in the physical or spiritual karma, it's about feeling unworthy. It's about underestimating one's power and learning to express your spirituality. So that's kind of
Yep.
that. When you were younger, I don't know if that resonates with you.
Oh my
Red
gosh. Yes,
jasper
yes, yes.
is a good
Oh,
stone
yeah.
for that.
Hmm. Great.
Then you go to your spiritual talents. So nine is the most powerful number. It's the dragon number, serpent energy. It's very powerful. You have
Wow.
four of them in your chart. So it could be hard on the body, the nine energy, because it's so much power, and it can be overwhelming to others. You have it in your talent position, so it's just all about power. It says a brilliant channeler. You have a complete connection to God or source. I don't know what you prefer.
Wow.
I prefer source. So I put clear quartz as a thing. It's clear quartz just amplifies
Jared, I know this is just the
energies.
surface, but it makes me want to cry. It's true. It's
Yeah,
true. Yeah, I feel so connected to source, I say
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
great. That's great. Yeah, I'm lacking that. I wish that I had that. But so in it, just going to the overlays real quick. If we were like best friends and hanging out all the time, your nine energy would come to me and help me burn through my karma and help
Oh, I
me to get
see.
connected to source because you have that powerful energy. That powerful energy because it's in the spiritual talents. All the talent energies in anybody's chart goes over to whoever they're with and helps with all three of their spiritual aspects: talents, goals, and karma, all of it. So that nine is a great position for others. And being a counselor, I mean, anybody that you're coming in contact with and working with, they're going to be getting that. Now, you might be pushing them out of their comfort zone and maybe
Hmm.
triggering some disempowerment at the beginning because they're getting a lot of energy from you, but
Yeah.
it's a great one for that.
Wow.
And then
That's
we go
super
back
cool.
up to the top of spiritual goals and we have the five again. So you've got this five energy. This is again the goal, spiritual goal when the five is there is about open to being a teacher of teachers. So it's about that teaching again and sharing what you have. And so
Yeah.
chrysocolla, I put again, that's another good stone for that kind of teaching aspect. So all of that comes together into this soul destiny. And for your soul destiny, you have this 9-9. And the soul destiny, the purpose of a 9-9 is to attain full soul consciousness and serve as channels and bring through the highest level of truth. That's your
Wow.
ultimate soul destiny.
No pressure.
Right? Easy.
Oh my God.
So
Snap.
So if you notice, one of the things about your chart that's kind of unique is if you look at it, you'll see that you have all double numbers.
Yes, I was
So
curious about that.
yeah, so that can be likened to you are working with basically 4 energies. You're working with 9, 2, 3, and 5. That's 4 energies that you have in your life. What that can feel like for people who have that, it can be very focused. You still have free will. You have free will to not do any of it. But it's like, I don't know if you've seen the TV show Futurama, where they have
I haven't.
it's a cartoon. And they have these, like in the future, these people movers. And it's like one of those suction tubes for the bankers, that you put the little capsule in it and it sucks it around. That's what it can be like. It's like being in one of those. You're traveling along and you might see something that you want to do. And you're like, I just want to go over there, but you can't because energetically, vibrationally, you have a more focused thing to be here for. Yours is that way. You have just very few energies. I have no double numbers. Well, I have 20-2 twice, but I have, when you have a 20 and a 2 and a 14 and a 5 and a 9 and a 3, and you can end up with up to 14 different vibrations, which can also be difficult because that can be very, open and loose and stuff like that. But yours is very focused on what you're doing. Yeah. If you scroll down again to that chart at the bottom, you'll notice that it mentions that you have 3 dominant vibrations. That's the max you can have. So the dominant vibrations, when those are present, that's basically a focus of your life, and they come with a message from source. And so normally I wouldn't, on a mini reading, I wouldn't share it. But since we're doing this, I just want to really quickly read you yours because they can be very impactful. Let me just get to, there we go. Okay. So 3. So 3 says, as you go forth, my beloved child, I will guide you and lead you. You will have all you have to do is keep in tune with me. I will project into your mind thoughts that will guide you and help you along the way. We are now 3 in 1, God/Spirit, your physical body, and your constant communication with your higher self, your Father in heaven. You now have love, power, strength, and intuition. I instruct you to go forth as my emissary and express truths I have given you.
Wow.
The 5 is, I now release the rigidity from your body, allowing it to flow and move and have motion. With this, I unlock the secrets of caring for and maintaining this vehicle which I have given you to express me. I breathe life into you that you may emerge as a living physical being. Open your eyes and look upon all I have given you. Accept it with the love in which it is given.
Wow.
And then 9 is, you now stand upright as a total reflection of me. My wisdom is your wisdom. My strength and power is yours. You have been given the ability to express my love to all who are capable of receiving and accepting it. You may hide what I have given you under a shadow, or you may spread your wings and share it with everyone with whom you come in contact. You will learn that the more you give of me, the more you will receive in turn and in like kind.
Holy cow.
So those are your messages from Source.
Thank you so much. Definitely moving.
Yeah.
I think I've cried once on my podcast. And this is another time I feel like it. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. And you're right. I do very much resonate with that chart. Of course I would. Right. Of course I would.
Well, yeah. Soul contract. It's so interesting. I mean, like, it just blows my mind every time I do it that, it's fun to do it for people. Like, I don't know you. I watched one podcast of yours, like with Crystal Perry, and I was like, oh, okay. And so I knew as soon as I started doing it, I was like, oh my God, these are like all the things you guys were talking about, intuition and the reluctancy, and then I was like, wow, this is just hitting. And like
Yeah.
for mine, it hits. And for, I mean, it's just, yeah,
It's
it's,
amazing stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to dive more into also like the struggle and what is it that I'm attempting to like dive deeper into what I'm attempting to
hmm
accomplish in this life. But yeah, this is fascinating stuff. So, folks, can you're doing readings right now, like
yeah,
the full length
yep,
Zoom readings. So,
yeah.
do folks just go to right now? Your website is minshara minerals.com. Yeah.
Yes. Mentor, yeah,
Okay.
mentorminerals.com. And then I think it has a pop up that says, oh, you're interested in this kind of thing. And I have three options. There's the birth reading, which is just an hour long, kind of just about your birth reading. And then I have an overlay reading. So, and then there's a birth and overlay. So you have to have your birth reading first. You have to know about yourself before you can understand the overlays of what other people. So it gives you two options. It's a lot of information. Like, I don't know how you felt just that short one, but imagine an hour of diving into your pit history, your past, and learning about how did this happen? How do you feel you're doing along this lines? And it's a lot. So I recommend people do the birth reading first. Give it a couple months or however long you need. Then do the overlay if you're interested, or you can do them both at the same time. It's just a lot. Just be prepared for that.
Right.
But and then the name optimization. I'll probably get into that and add that, and who knows
Yes.
about the business stuff.
Yes.
So
Yes. 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 All right. So the
yeah.
what you did today, that was like a mini birth reading.
Yeah,
Okay.
modified. I mean, there maybe a little bit more. Usually with that, like each number has its own thing. So like 5 is about truth. That's important. So it'd be even maybe a little bit more basic. Just like, hey, this number is about truth, and kind of a real quick thing. I wouldn't give any crystal recommendations. I wouldn't read any of the other stuff. It's just this is your
Okay.
chart. These are the information. If you're interested, we can go further.
Okay. Yes. I'm pretty sure I just picked up some Chrysocolla too. That came up a
Yeah,
couple times in your recommendation. So thank you. I'm such a crystal nerd. I love that
yeah,
stuff. So I'm like, oh my God, you're me people. Jared, thank you so much. I will be linking
no
up
problem.
to everything that folks can learn from you and book with you. You're also having an expo, right? That's coming
Yeah,
up.
so I'm on a board or expansion team with the board of BEPC up in Seattle, Washington. I live in Portland, Oregon, but it's not too far. So BEPC has been going for about 45 years. It's a nonprofit started out with a major aerospace company up there, which I'm not going to say the name because we're not supposed to. They wanted to get out of it, but BEPC stands for Bringing Everybody Peace and Consciousness. And so they do an expo twice a year, one in October, one in the spring. And so the next one's at the end of April. And, it's like they have, talks, kind of like a little conference type stuff. And then we're really kind of trying to revamp it. All of the economy and the way everything's going right now, it's just kind of, there's a lot of, everything's kind of gone down. So we're trying to freshen it up a little bit. So it'll be a little bit more experiential than it has been in the past, with hopefully some music and some stuff going on and just stuff that makes you want to hang
Cool.
out. But there's about 100 or so vendors and practitioners of different modalities. And I'm up there in full force with my crystals and
It's
the
a
soul
giant
contract
booth.
readings and
You have
stuff.
a
Yeah,
giant booth. It's just
it
so
keeps
much
growing.
stuff
It
there.
keeps growing. Yeah, my booths have gotten ridiculous, and I'm actually going to be in Linwood, Washington. Well, I don't know when this will come out, but this weekend, which probably will be after this. But I'm only doing the soul contracts and the aura, and I'm super excited because I'm actually leaving right like after this to drive up there. I'm actually super
Oh,
excited because I don't have to
fun.
set up all the crystals. I love
Oh,
the crystals. They're
right.
like my children. And
They
I'm like,
are.
let's find you a home if you want. If you want to stay with us, you
Mhm.
can. Talk to them because crystals are alive and they will help us if they know what to do. So
They are, and they need some light and put them
yeah,
out on display. And they're just beautifully set up on in your booths. It's so beautiful. I was drawn right to your booth. I was
thank
like,
you.
oh my gosh, what's happening here? It's beautiful. Love it. Well, great. So I might be up there
Yeah.
in Seattle next spring. It is on my birthday. So I'm like, shoot, do
Oh,
I want to go up there? Not sure, but you may be part of things. I think there was something I saw also down in Eugene recently.
Was
So you're all over.
Yeah, I tend to hit. There's a festival track called MIWI, I think Metaphysical Wellness Fairs.
Cool.
They happen up and down the Pacific Northwest. So I was in Eugene
Cool.
last at the beginning of the month. I'll be in Olympia next weekend, same weekend that I'm
Great.
doing my training. So that's going to be crazy. And then there's a Portland show coming up, and so I'm anywhere there's a MIWI, I'm usually there, trying to hit other
That's
options. So. Trying to get out there.
fantastic. Well, as you are listeners or viewers going to be in the Pacific Northwest, hang out with Jared Carter, see some of his crystals, get a reading. Amazing stuff. Thank you so much. Appreciate you
No
being
problem.
here and
Thank
your
you.
wisdom.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining the Reluctant Medium podcast today. I hope that this episode has brought you beautiful, high vibration and that it continues emanating from your heart space for the rest of the day and beyond. Don't forget to join The Reluctant Medium on patreon.com, and you can also visit thereluctantmedium.us and The Reluctant Medium TV show on newrealitytv.com. Until next time, my friend, may you be well.